Live. All right. Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm just gonna check if everything is functioning live and well. Let's take few minutes to settle in. Right, we have some. I can see that there are some viewers already popping up. So great. Hi, everyone. I'm here. This is Siam. I'm from New York. If you guys can just say where are you guys located from in the chat, I think it will be great to kind of like see how many users are coming from which location. So uh, I have Sakib with me, who I'll introduce a little bit later. But Sakib, where are you from? Tell us a little bit about uh, where are you from?
Hey, I'm from Toronto. I'm working in Equifax right now as a senior cloud architect, and I'm gonna be your instructor today. So
Sweet. So we are seeing people from Portland, um, JP from Ottawa, Canada. Then we have Stuart from Portland. Then V Nayak from Vancouver. Sorry if I'm butchering everyone's name. Then Samuel from Virginia. Then we have someone else from Portland, Maine, from Malaysia, Montreal. We have a good crowd here: Portland, Rochester, New York. So very from primarily from North America, but also someone from Malaysia, which was very interesting. So we are going to start our workshop within exactly 5 minutes. Uh, this is an online live workshop, so people are probably just settling in. So yeah, if you have someone just joined in from Texas, so awesome. I was originally from Texas as well. So uh, so for the question and answer, we'll use the YouTube live chat as the for basically answering any question you have. I'll be your moderator or host. Feel free to ask any kind of questions while you go. You don't have to wait till the webinar to end. So feel free to ask your question. And what I'll do is that I will probably not bug mentor Sakib while he's speaking, but at the end of the basically our workshop, I'll ask him the questions. So feel free to ask the questions throughout this workshop. Yeah, we're gonna start our workshop within 3 more minutes. Great to see you guys on a Sunday night, especially like this is still feels like a weekend. But yeah, I don't know how many of you guys actually joined our previous workshop, which we did in November. That was a 3-day workshop. It was a little bit more details. Have any of you guys attended our 3-day workshop? Please let us know in the chat. Yes, this will be. JB Matt asked that will this be posted online? Absolutely. This is a completely online, and this will be the same YouTube video link will be staying there. If you finish the task Sakib gives you, then just email us and we'll be replying you back with a certificate. So if you guys want the certificate, it really doesn't like, it's not a big deal. But if you want a certificate of attendance of this workshop, stay till the end of the workshop, and we'll give you the email address where to email, and then just email us and we'll reply you back. I think we also have your email addresses, so you guys are already probably getting most of the emails from Get Me Hired Bootcamp. So just reply back to that email saying that you have finished the homework or you have attended the workshop. We can give you the certificate. Um, Frank, yeah, awesome. Frank was actually on the 3-day workshop, learned a lot. Awesome, thanks. Okay, sweet. Um, we will start within 2 more minutes. Just 2 more minutes to go, and uh, we'll start our workshop. Sakib, how are you feeling? Ready for jumping? I mean, you're a pro by this time, so I think
No, I'm not. Yeah.
I don't know if everyone was here in the last 3-day workshop, but Sakib, our mentor, actually became a meme. So if anyone attended that one, they probably know uh, that thing. But
It's okay. I mean,
I
I
think someone
just
just joined from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So great to see people from so many different places. Pradeep joined from Long Island, New York. Pradeep, I'm also in the New York City. We're pretty close. Um, we do have most of our participants from North America, few probably from outside of North America, but primarily from North America. Um, yeah, I think we can start. I don't want to hold everyone uh, on a Sunday night. We are going to wrap this up within 1 hour or maximum, maybe 1 hour 15 minutes. So yeah, so basically, I will. Oh, some Shomesh is from India. Uh, Alex is asking, I think this is our Alex. He's asking, why isn't Sakib in space? Sakib is in his room now. Arthi is from Pennsylvania. So good to see people from so many places. Awesome. This feels like a distributed global community. Anyway, so this is 9:05 Eastern time, New York time. I think we can start. So I'll just, awesome. Sakib is in space, ready for the class. uh, Also from Seattle, go Hawks. All right, so I think we can start. All right, so this is Siam. I am basically an ex-international students who came to US just for studying here, did my master's, worked in a large asset management company. I have been in US for more than last 10 years. So now I have my green card and I'm basically like, I love US. I'm just waiting for the passport. I think Sakib, you already became Canadian, right? Like you are also an
yeah.
international yeah, so you're already Canadian. So yeah, so basically what we do, we started doing this tech workshops around 2 months back. We did our first tech workshop on November last year, and it was a huge hit. I mean, we got overwhelming amount of responses from the students and like the participants. So we realized that there is a good demand and there is a good value. Student can learn a lot from this, especially from the live sessions, not recorded sessions. So we decided that we'll do these sessions every month. We didn't do anything last month because December is kind of like slow, vacation and stuff. So from now on going forward this year, we'll be doing uh, at least one technical workshop every month. And we also will be doing one career workshop, which is more about job hunt, how to brush up your LinkedIn, how to do networking, things like that. But I don't want to deviate too much on this, on the different topic. Who are we? We are basically Get Me Hired. We are an online programming / job hunting bootcamp. We basically help students to land their first jobs in US. Most of our students are international students, but international students who are residing in US or Canada, but we're not basically only exclusive towards that. Uh, from last month, or actually last 2 months, we are seeing influx of non-international students also in our bootcamp. So we are also open to that. So yeah, so that's pretty much what we do. We basically uh, train live classes, and then we bring the students in and make them work into basically give them a software development experience. And then once they have the experience, we help them launch them into the market and land a job. So that's kind of like in very short what we do. So Sakib is basically our CTO. Sakib has been in multiple Fortune 500 companies. He have been working in tech for more than 10 years now. Right now, he's working in Equifax as a senior cloud architect. And yeah, so Sakib has a good insight on what's going on in the industry. Today, we'll be focusing on just AWS, but I think, Sakib, I'll just give the mic to you. And to all the audiences, any kind of questions you guys have, just definitely ask on the chat. I will be the moderator. I'll just stay on the background for Sakib. And if you guys have any question, I'll just help pass Sakib those questions. So without any further ado, I'll just welcome Sakib to take the lead, and hope you guys enjoy the workshop. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Siam. Thanks for the nice introduction. You can hear me, right?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay, cool. So yeah, basically, this workshop is to give you an idea of like give a small test of AWS, which is Amazon Web Services, and I'll go through like from where this AWS has come from. Actually, what's the background, like why we need cloud computing, like why can't we just have a server in our home or in a data center. That's the thing. So yeah, let's start with the slide. So basically you can see, so today's class is actually about hosting a website on Amazon Web Services, and we will see how easy it is to actually use a um, how easy is it to host a site in AWS. So yeah, so I'm Saki Olasan. I'm a senior cloud architect in Equifax. I'm working with several cloud services, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Computing. So yeah, let's see. So let's see what we're gonna do today. So today our focus is to actually use two services from AWS. Uh, so one is Amazon S3, Amazon S3, and the other one is Amazon Route 53. So S3 is actually a bucket. It's for storage. We're gonna use the S3 to host our website, and Route 53 is basically a domain name services which is provided by Amazon, which we will use to actually point a domain name to our website. So what we will do today we will grab a free Bootstrap template from online, and then we will make some modification of those on the file. So we can see so we will actually have a very simple website, and then we will actually create a bucket in the S3 to host the website, and then we will point the domain name. We already have purchased one domain name, which is getmehired.org. So we will point the domain name into our site. So yeah, that's the plan. So before going to AWS. So I'm talking about AWS S3, Route 53, a lot of buzzword, right? So now, uh, like maybe a lot of you are actually new in this field. You don't know even what is AWS, like what am I talking about? What is S3, right? So this is why we need to know like a little bit of background, how does the cloud computing comes into the play actually. So let's have a look on the diagram. So how this thing works actually. At first, what is a cloud computing? So a cloud computing is actually an on-demand delivery of services via a platform of the internet. So it's basically you are getting a service via the internet, right? So why do I need to actually a service in the like via the internet, right? We can have like a system installed into our home, or we can have things on our servers, the local server, like IBM. So if you think like earlier, IBM used to have like big machines, like very big machines, and those are servers. Like those cost a lot of bucks, like sometimes like 100 grand that added cost. Uh, so now people are actually trying to move to the cloud computing. So why this thing is coming? So if you have a look on this picture, so what's happening? A user is actually requesting for a service via like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, those cloud services, and then and then it's actually using a service on the cloud, and that is being served to the user, and the user is actually paying for whatever he's actually using. So he doesn't need to pay anything extra. So how does cloud computing come into the play? So what happened back in 2004 or 3, I guess, that time. So people at first got introduced. People used to earlier that people used to actually have like big servers, like what I mentioned, IBM servers, and it was actually installed on their office or maybe on their on the basement over there, and they have to maintain their own server, they have to maintain their own electricity line, they have to maintain the internet facility, then and it has to be maintained by themselves. So what's the problem of this kind of system? So the problem is that you have to maintain this thing, so it's not an easy thing. And so like if you have to like host a site, you have to basically do everything by your own. So so from there comes a new actually facility which is called the data center. So what happened in data center, some companies will actually give you facilities like what they will provide, basically the whole infrastructure to actually make a proper environment for hosting a server. And then you can actually have your own machine over there, so you can buy the machines over there and keep it there, and then you basically pay them a rent to use that place actually. So this is where the concept of cloud just initiated. So now people are thinking, let's actually move from our office or like from our in-house to out to some places where we don't have to like have the headache to maintain this thing. So this is what that comes. Now people are seeing like, if you have, suppose now you have to host a new site. So now what you have to do, you have to basically like grab a server and then put the server into that place. And but it's still like you have to host the site, you have to buy a server. So now if you need something, you have to call IBM, and then you have to place the order, and it might take like a week to like a month to get the server, right? And then after the server comes, you use it, and maybe after a week you thought like, no, I don't need that thing anymore. So but you're basically stuck because you already bought it. So either you have to like resell on a very small like a lower price, or you just have to keep it. So that's the problem. So because of that problem, there comes the concept like Amazon AWS, they actually bring with the uh, virtual machines. So they bring this concept of virtual machines. So you basically you rent some computing power on the internet. So you can rent as you want, and if you don't need that, you can just release those things. That's the idea. And from there comes the concept of cloud. So you actually basically you rent the processing power or the computing power, and after you basically you finish your need, you just release those resources, and then you don't have to you don't have to pay anymore. So it's basically pay per use. So that's where the concept of the cloud computing comes.
Hey, Sakib, sorry to jump in here. So we have two questions. Pradeep B asked that why is AWS more popular compared to other solutions? And then Nehal asked, what is the price of this kind of services?
Yeah, I'll come to the point why AWS is more popular, and the price point is actually is based on the service. I'm gonna have so AWS has so far like more than hundreds of services, and if you use the services, those are basically per instance basis and per hourly basis as well. Like if so, it depends on how long you are using. So I'll come to this point soon actually. So before going to that point, so let's have a look on an example of a cloud computing. Like how cloud computing is actually important, how it is useful. So if we have a look on a traditional approach, so like suppose every year we have to calculate tax, right? So now suppose for calculating tax, we need a calculator which helps us to calculate the tax. So now you can buy the calculator by paying $50, and then you can actually have the calculator, right? So this is like one approach, which is the traditional approach. So you can have your calculator to calculate the tax, and then you can use it. The cloud computing approach would be like, you don't own a calculator. You basically use a cloud calculator, which is actually a service via the internet, and then you actually pay whatever you use for. So suppose like to use the cloud calculator is basically you have to pay like $1 per day. So then on that case, you actually use it. You do your whole calculation in one day, so you have to pay basically $1, and that's it, right? So this is the two approach. Like suppose to actually calculate the tax. So now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of this approach? So let's at first have a look on the traditional approach. So with the traditional approach, where you basically you have the physical calculator with you, so you are actually the sole owner of the calculator. So you don't have to you don't have to like take anyone's permission or anything. Basically, you own the calculator, so you are actually you can do whatever you want with the calculator. The second thing is that you can actually decide what calculator to buy. This is totally up to you because you are actually owning this thing, right? And another thing is that you don't have to use any kind of internet or anything, and you can use it like offline or whatever you want, right? So yeah, those are like really good features, right? But there are some disadvantages. So what are the disadvantages of the traditional approach? The first thing is that you basically use it only one day, but for the rest of the year, you don't actually use it. So it's basically useless for the rest of the year. So, so suppose for the next year, the, the tax law got changed, right? And then for the for the change, your calculator got outdated. So you cannot use that current calculator to calculate that tax. Like suppose they actually add a new function, whatever you have to make, you have to it that that calculation got complex, right? So basically you're wasting. So the $50 that you invested last year, it's basically wasted. So now, so that's the other issue. So I'm also so you cannot try the calculator like if if you want to use it, you have to like buy it. You cannot try it and then after trying it, then you can see like no, it's not good for you. Then you cannot just return it. So basically, you have to basically uh, like buy the whole calculator. Okay, and then also like you have to keep the calculator secure by yourself. So like if you buy the calculator, you have to make sure like it's actually say it's locked in, so that it doesn't got stolen or something like that. And also if it got damaged, there is no backup to use. So basically if it got damaged, it's broken, you're not use it anymore. And also like if you get a deal like buy three calculators get one free, it doesn't have any use for you because you actually need only one calculator to calculate it, right? That's another thing. And another thing is that like if the calculator is not available into your city, it might be available in a different city. Like maybe you are living in Los Angeles, and the calculator is available in New York. So you basically have to fly over to New York to actually buy the calculator. Yeah, though it's not going to happen these days, but yeah, that could be another scenario. And then another thing is that if you are living in Los Angeles and you have a friend in New York and he wants to use the calculator, so now you have to pay like another $50 to ship that calculator to New York so that he can use it, right? So that's actually another waste of time. So these are the disadvantages. What is actually the issue with the traditional approach. So now let's have a look on the cloud computing approach. So what are the advantages of cloud approach? So you're basically using the cloud calculator service only on the day you need it. So you don't have to like own the whole thing for the whole year. You just need it for the one day. So you just have to pay for the one day. So which is basically if we say like the rate for using one day is like $1. So you're basically paying for the $1 for the whole year, right? Because you don't need it for the whole year. So earlier approach, you have to pay $50, but now you have to pay only $1. For the next year, you have to pay another $1. Basically $1 every year. That's cheap. And also like you can also like if you want to try it, you can use it for like a fraction of the day, like maybe an hour. And suppose if the hours cost is like 25 cents, you just have to pay only 25 cents. So by paying only 25 cents, you can try the calculator and see how is it good for you or not, right? And also another thing is that you don't have to worry about like where to keep the calculator because it's on cloud. So you don't have to, you just use it and then you forget about it. So the same thing goes for the security as well. You don't have to maintain like whether this whether the calculator is secure or not, like whether it's going to install or not, because it's in the cloud and cloud will actually manage the security of that. So, and also like you can even monitor like who is using your account. So if someone got access to your account, then you can you, because you have actually monitoring service attached with the cloud, so that you can monitor who are using your who are basically using your calculator. And also you can actually take a backup for your data. So in case for some reason the cloud is down or whatever, you can actually have your own data on your own site. So yeah, and you can basically easily share this whole service. You can, if you share your account with someone, then they can use the same thing to actually use it. So yeah, these are the basically the advantage of cloud computing over the uh, traditional approach. And this is why people are more likely to use cloud stuff nowadays. And this is why it's a buzzword as well. Like why people are moving towards cloud a lot. So now here comes the thing of AWS or Amazon Web Services. So where does Amazon Web Services fit in the cloud? So Amazon Web Service is actually another cloud provider, which are providing different services. So they are similar to like Azure or GCP, which is Google Cloud, uh, Google Cloud Platform. There is also like Alibaba. There's also like from IBM. There are lots of cloud services nowadays, but Amazon is the pioneer. So they're basically leading this field actually. So let's have a look on the market share. So now that's the question: why we should use Amazon? Why we should use AWS and Amazon? So if you have a look on the graph, so from 2016, AWS had the market share of 35%. So now they have 47%, and their rate is increasing. And if you see the other market share, which is basically other VMs, they have 52%, and they went down to 16%. There are other players over here Microsoft Azure is also doing good. So in 2016 they had 8%. Now they're 22%. They're also doing good. And Google and Alibaba is also trying to compete. But AWS, because they're pioneer and they are actually making services very fast. They are making new services in every year. So let's have a look on the next graph. So this is the number of AWS services which is actually available on each year. So this is by this is by namespace. So it means those are like main the main features, like the main services. Like they have lots of microservices under under AB services. So like if you count how many services are there right now, microservices are everything, it should be more than 2000. So those are the main services count. So if you see in 2013 they had 25, but now they have actually 149. So that's why AWS is actually so popular, because they keep adding services. Now you can even host your source code as well. So they have lots of features. Even you can use the like login system, security system. They have IoT, they have cloud, they have all lots of. I'll show you a glimpse of of all services like real quick. Uh, so yeah, that's the reason why AWS are very popular, and that's the reason why you should learn AWS actually. So now let's have a look on the bullet points for why we should use AWS. So as I told you, they are the clear leader in providing cloud services. They have a lot of services, and their number of services are keep growing. And obviously, security is one of on the main important thing of AWS. If you don't know yet, uh, you might have used like a lot of you should have used Netflix, and Netflix is actually is fully hosted in AWS. So yeah, this is highly secured. And also like they have flexibility, so you can actually modify your as per your needs, and it's easy to use because you can use it from anywhere via internet. It's cost effective because you can mention like how long you want to use your services. Like if you want to like run a service for like 1 hour, then that's good. Or if you want to use it for 1 year, that's also good. So it's basically cost effective. So if you need some computing power for 1 hour, and then you use it, and then you just let it go. That's it. And also they're reliable because they actually replicate each data into 3 places. So this is why they are so reliable. So if you lose a data, they will actually easily copy it from another place. So that's why they're reliable. And they are scalable and high performance is because like you can actually you can turn on like auto scale up and auto scale down for your servers. So if you have like more users, they can automatically scale up. Means and if you don't have enough users, they can automatically go down. So it's based on the need. And hybrid capability is means like if like for the big companies, have some special needs, like they want to actually have some data into local and some data into cloud. So AWS provides some kind of bridge which actually help them to implement this kind of feature. So yeah, so you can see like they have actually several features, and they're flexible, and they have lots of services. So that's the reason why AWS is so popular nowadays, and that's why you should learn AWS. So yeah, now we're gonna actually see like so now we're gonna go for the hands-on part where we're gonna host the application. Uh, so as a part of the hosting the application, what we're gonna do at first we're gonna show you. So at first we're gonna create an AWS account. So I'm not gonna create it because I already have an account, but I will show you how to do that. So if you open a browser and if you search for AWS and then hit enter, you're going to get the list, and here you will see a link called aws.amazon.com. So if you click on that, you will basically see the you get a list. I mean, like, you get a page, and then on the top right corner you will see there's a button called sign into the console. So this is the AWS console what we're going to sign in. So let's click on the button. So for your case, you will not have an account, so you have to click on this gray button which is called create a new AWS account. So if you click on that, then it will ask for your email address, password, and confirm password, and an account name. And then after you click on continue, they will ask for your credit card. And don't worry about that. This is Amazon, so it's totally secure. And see, they have a free tier as well. So one EC2 instance, so and some S3, and some stuffs are free. So today we're gonna use Amazon S3, which also falls under the free tier. So you won't be charged anything actually. So which is a good thing. So if you still want to know what are the free items, you can visit this link. So you can go there. So yeah, basically, if you put this information, and if you continue, it will ask for your credit card, and then it might ask you for whether it's a personal account or business account. Just choose personal, and then just go through this thing, and then you will actually finish the account creation part. So I already have an account, so I'm not gonna go to that part. So I'm just gonna sign in. So let's click on that link, and I have an account. I'm just gonna use that thing. Oh, there you go. So I am logged in. Okay, that's great. So now this is called AWS Management Console. So by from an AWS Management Console, you can actually use their services. So this is the list of all the services what you have actually. So these are the top layer services, and from inside there there's like lots of other things. You can also get the list from here in the top left. That's called services. If you click on that, you can see like this whole list over here. So now I'm just gonna give a glimpse of like what are those. So their main items are the compute, storage, database, and this stuff. So in the compute, you can use several kind of compute service. These are like the processing power, uh, which you can use. And for the storage, these are like 6 different kind of storage. What we're gonna what we're not gonna cover. We're just gonna use S3 today, but what I'm gonna say, like as a part of our next boot camp. So in Get Me Hired, we teach students the full stack course. So in a full stack course, we have front end, we have back end, and we have uh, DevOps. So in the front end, we actually teach students how to build an application using Angular. And on the back end, we teach how to build a backend application using Spring, Java, Spring, and Mongo. And third one, the DevOps, we actually teach students the whole console. Basically, we prepare them for the AWS certification. So on that course, we actually go through everything in a high level and also in depth as well, like all the stuffs of S3 and EC2. That's required for that certification, and we go through this thing. And that class is starting on the soon, actually in mid-January. So Siam will actually go in detail the later. So yeah, so basically they have several services. They have databases, lots of database over here, and there's some networking part as well here. And if you're interested about the analytics, you can actually use analytic tools. This EMR is really popular nowadays. And if you are interested to actually do some IoT, if you are into like a smart home technology, then you can use the stuff. And yeah, there's some game development which is new as well. So yeah, basically they are so what they're doing, they keep adding new stuff. So yeah, so today what we're gonna use like two services. So the first one is S3, and the second one is Route 53. So I'm pretty sure if I search Route 53, so this is a part of the networking tab. This is what we're gonna use on the second part, and the first part we're gonna use on S3. Okay. So first thing first. So our goal is to actually host a website, right? So so this is what our goal is to host a website, but we don't have a website, right? How what we're gonna do? Because at first we have to build a website. So to build a website, you need to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and maybe some Angular, which we covered in our front end course in Get Me Hired in a bootcamp. But we don't have any website now. So what we can do, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab a sample uh, Bootstrap template. So Bootstrap is a CSS framework, a CSS template. So basically, it helps you to actually build uh, HTML sites very quickly. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna actually grab a sample free template from online, and then we're gonna modify that specific template a little bit, and then we're gonna use it to actually host our site. So let's click on the browser and search for free Bootstrap template. Hit enter and see in the first link, this one. Let's click on that. Excuse me. And there you go. There are lots of free Bootstrap templates over here. So if you want to actually have an admin panel, you can build an admin panel, you can just grab the template and use it. So yeah, there's several free templates. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab a free one, maybe like this one, freelancer. So if we click on the view live preview, it's gonna show us like how it's gonna look like, right? So this is the site it's gonna look like as a contact form or something like that. So basically a very basic site, right? With some nice UI. So this is the preview, which is actually hosted in the tab bootstrap /preview /freelancer. Okay, so let's grab it. So how do we grab it? There's a button called free download. So let's click on that. And we have it actually. We're getting it downloaded information. So yeah, it's here. So it's on my folder. So I'm just gonna have a look. So yeah, I just unzipped that thing. So this is my folder. So tab bootstrap freelancer. This is the folder. So if we go inside there, so these are all the files what they provide. So see there they have a CSS folder. There's some emails folder over here. Let's go back. So basically, it gives us everything, and it has one file which is index.html. So index.html is the root file. What we're going to edit a little bit because we don't want to look our page like this. So this is like some start bootstrap whatever, right? So that's why. So let's go back, and I'm just gonna open this thing in an editor. So to edit this thing, you can use any kind of editor. So I use Sublime Text for small editing, which is basically a text editor. So you can use Notepad, Notepad plus plus or any other thing. So I'm just gonna use Sublime Text. So yeah, so see if you can see this is the code what we have here. So I'm just gonna change some stuff. So what I'm gonna change, I'm just gonna change this. If you have a look on this thing, I'm just gonna change the start bootstrap over here, which is I'm gonna call it like get me hired, and start bootstrap over here. I'm just gonna change it to my name, and it's a graphic artist, web designer, but I'm not that, so I'm gonna change that too. Okay, so let's go back here, and yeah, so this is start bootstrap, and this is under hyperlink A. So this is you need to have a little bit more knowledge about HTML. So I'm not gonna go dig deep on that. If you want to know that thing, then you have to actually come to our front end class, or there's gonna be some other courses. But so yeah, I'm just gonna change this one to get me hired, and let's go down a little bit. So there's a start bootstrap one. I'm just gonna put my name here. Just it's fine. And the designation, I'm just gonna tell it whatever I am. So here, cloud architect, and I'll just save it. So the files what we have, it got saved into my local local file. So if I just close this file and try to see it into my browser, into my local browser, we can see how it's gonna look like. So let's open it in the browser to see. This is actually showing in slash user slash configuration in my machine. From my machine, I just updated this get me hired and Sakibulasan over here, and then I update this one. So this is how it's gonna look like. And this is currently hosted into it's not hosted, it's basically it's on my current machine, and I'm actually having a preview using my browser. So this is what we're gonna host into the AWS. Now let's see how we can do that. So let's close this one, and let's get back to our AWS console. So now, as I told you, so to host this thing, we're gonna use two services. So the first service is the S3, which we will use as to host it, and the second one will be Route 53 to actually point our domain to that one. So let's go to S3 at first. So how do we go there? So if we click on the services, and then we see there's this S3 under the storage. So we click on that. So we come to on the S3. So we already have some old stuff. So in S3 they call it bucket. So each of the storage, like it's storage, it has to be inside a placeholder, and S3 they call it bucket. So at first we have to create a bucket to store all of our files. So let's create a new bucket. So now for the bucket name, I'm gonna choose getmehire.org. So it's really important to choose this name because we're gonna need this thing. So we need this thing for the Route 53. So for the Route 53, the name of the bucket has to be exact as the domain name. So we're gonna point our domain get fit so in Route 53 we have a domain already purchased, which is called getmehire.org. So this is why we actually name the bucket exactly like this. Like it's called getmehire.org. Okay. So now just click next, another next. So in the second part, we just set permission. We're gonna, so this is block all public access, but we have to have a public access into the bucket because others will come to this bucket to see our web pages, right? So that's why we cannot block it. So we're gonna take it off. And then everything is good. Then we click on the next, and everything is gonna be good. It's just showing the summary. And then we just click on the create bucket. And see, we actually got our bucket, which is called getmehired.org, which is this one, right? So now we get inside the bucket, which is right now empty. We have a button here over, it's called upload. So we click on the upload button, and here we can click on this button, or we can also drag and drop all of our files. So we're gonna use the drag and drop feature. Why not, right? Because that's easy. So yeah, this is the folder, what we have everything. We updated this file. So we're just gonna Control A to select all, and then just click drag and put it over the drop. So it is showing all the them over here. So I'm just gonna hit the upload button over here, and it is uploading. See,
Hey, Saqib, while you wait, can I ask you a question from a student?
sure. Right.
So Vinayak asked that in my experience, AWS and Azure have almost the same services with different names. Would you know if these two companies use the same technologies under the hood with different names? An interesting
Uh,
question.
Thank you for the question. Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I don't think they use same technology because uh, they're totally different company, and they have their own proprietary thing. So the reason why they even try to name the services similar, because they try to like get user from other clouds. So like if like AWS, because AWS is pioneer, so they already have the big market share. So now what Azure and Google is trying to do, they're trying to actually replicate their services, like same services, so that they can actually grab it. And what they do, they actually do promotion, like for the Google, I believe Google give you like $300 credit. So that's what they're trying to do. But whatever but how they're building, I don't know actually. I mean, it's totally their proprietary thing. So they're building it actually a bit. But what I can say, like what Google is doing, Google is actually using a lot of like open source technology, because what they believe actually, if you use open source technology, then it's easy to actually uh, scale up actually, because you don't have, because other people are also helping to actually make those things improve. So yeah, but what they're using, nobody knows. So yeah, cool. Thanks for the question. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back. So yeah, all the files have got uploaded. So you can see over here. Uh, so now we have uploaded those files. So now we also have to make all of the files available publicly. So how can we do this? So at first we have to select all of them, and then from the action on the top right over here, we click on that, and there's an option called make public. So yeah, so at first, so making the public, there's like two steps. So at first we make the whole bucket public, because if you don't make the bucket public, this option will be disabled. You cannot make this thing public. So now we're making all the files public. So there's like two steps you have to remember. So first step, make the bucket public. And second step is make the files public. So we make the files public, and yeah, so this is getting public. All of them is being applied. Nice. So yeah, all of this thing, it got public, and so now it's over there. So what's next? So how can we actually access it, right? So there's one thing is missing here. So which is that we have to make this whole thing as a web hosting. Like we have to turn on the static web hosting so that others can actually see our site. So we know, like in this, in all of this file, our root file is which one? Index dot in the HTML, this one, right? So this is, so we have to make sure somehow we actually show S3 that this is our root file. So we can do it from the properties. So this is our bucket. So we have like several tabs for the bucket, like the bucket has like properties, permission, management, access point. So these are all important for the certification, which we can cover into our courses. But for now, we're just gonna show you how to make this thing available for the static web hosting. So we go to the property, and then there are like several options here. Then we choose the the third option, which is the static website hosting. So we click on that, and then we use the first option, use this bucket to host a website. We click on that, and this index document is a root document. So we have index.html. Cool. And then we hit the save button. So now it got saved, and then this enable. So how we can hit it? So see, if we click on that thing again, they are showing the endpoint. So see, this is the endpoint, which is where our site is hosted. So now if we click on that, it will open in a new tab. So let's click on that. See, now our site is up. So our site is showing get me hired, and this is my name, and this over here. But the thing is that it is actually hosted into S3 bucket. So that's why this this URL is looks like it's not so good, right? But it's gonna work. We can show it. You can give it to someone, but we want to see it under a domain name. Like if we hit a domain name, then it should show this one. So how can we do that? So this is where the second part comes in. So now we're gonna use AWS's Route 53 to point the domain name to our hosting, which is hosted into the S3 bucket. So let's get back to our console. So if you go back to the console, if you click on the services, there is another service, what I told earlier under the network tab. It's called Route 53. So if you click on the Route 53, it will bring us to our Route 53 homepage. So here you can actually buy a domain. So see, it's a registered domain. So you can actually search for anything like get me hired webinar.com. And then you can choose like what kind of domain you want to purchase. So this thing will actually cost you. So I just want to say this, if you choose something from here, it's going to cost you. So it's better, I mean, it's up to you to do it. But if you check it, let's see. So yeah, I mean, it says, yeah, this is available. And if you add to cart, and then you can just proceed on. In this way, you can just buy your own domain name. So for us, we already have a domain name uh, purchase, because we didn't actually show you this process in this class, because after you place the order, it takes around 4 hours to actually settle this whole thing, like so that you can configure this thing. So we don't want you to wait for 4 hours. That would be good, right? So yeah, so that's why we already have a domain name purchase. So let's go back to the home page again. So yeah, we already have one domain name, which is showing number one. It's showing hosted zones. So if we click on this link, hosted zones, then it will show our domain name, which we have purchased. So getmehired.org. We already purchased this one. So you can select on this one and then click on the go to record sets, or you can click on this link. It will go to your record sets as well. So for now, we're just gonna click on the go to record sets. So this is what so this is after purchase the domain name, these two records will be automatically added. So now we have to add another new record set, which we will actually do it from the here on the top. It's called create record set. So we click on the create record set, and then on the right panel, you will see something that pop up. So you don't need to do anything, just leave the first box as is, leave the second box as is. On the third box, the alias, you just click yes, because if you choose no, then this is a different option, but we want to point a domain name to our hosting, right? So before adding the record, so let's actually hit this domain name to see what's actually happening right now. If we copy the domain name and then open a new tab and hit it, so it's not showing. So so this site is not reachable. So if you keep entering refresh, it's not working, right? Okay, so let's get back to our console. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna create our okay, something else. So let's click on the create record set button again, and then here in the alias we select yes, and then the alias target, if you click on that, then it will already show this is the thing that we added, right? So it's a getmehat.org. So this is really important. So if you create a bucket name which is not as same as this one, it will not show over here. So this is if we create a bucket name which is a different name than this domain name, this you won't see this thing over here. So that's why it's really important to have the same bucket name. So now what you do, you just select this one, which is getmehat.org s3 bucket, which is actually over here, and then you just leave everything as is, and then you just click that create button, and that record set got added over here, which is the first one, this one, right? So now let's get back to here. Finger crossed, hit our refresh button, and it's not working because it takes some time. Sometime it got cached. So if someone of you can hit that link, let me just try it from. Sometimes it takes some time because it takes some time to propagate. Okay, getmehat.org. Siam, can you try to hit the link?
Sure. Getmehat.org, right?
Yeah.
Let me do that. By the way, I had a question by myself. For the students will have homework here, right? Like the students who are watching, they can do this and get a certificate. They have a homework, right?
Yeah. So for the homework, I'll come just after this thing.
Okay.
Basically,
Okay. So yeah, so basically, everyone just I posted the Slack channel on where you can join and basically post your homework. But yeah, for I just checked, it's working. Getmehat.org is working.
can you? Okay, so can I think it might be cached from my machine.
And
But
share my screen and just show it quickly. So
yeah.
basically, I think some of the students are also typing that it's working. Yeah, so they're able to see it. Getmehat.org, it's working. So
Okay, maybe it says it's Chrome got cached. Let me just try Safari.
yeah, sometimes they have caching issues.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, something is happening with my machine that's not coming, but as you guys have confirmed, it's
yeah, do you need to see it again?
can you show it? Just check.
Sure. Yes. Yes. Of course. So yeah.
So yeah, I think yeah, if you guys have seen it, so yeah, it's showing from all of the Siam's machine as well. So sometimes because it got cached, so it's not working maybe from my machine. But yeah, that's how you host it. Uh, so yeah, so that's what I want to show. Like, see, it's really simple. So like in like half an hour, like within like more little bit more than half an hour. So we just managed to host a site, which is completely free, and then we also managed to like make the Route 53 use. We use Route 53 actually to point the site as well. So that's how that. So this is why people are actually are more leaning towards cloud run nowadays because it's so simple, so easy. So that's what we do. So yeah, basically for the homework, so what you will do, you will actually grab is the same Bootstrap file from the same link. I give it to the link so you can see the link from the video as well. And then you can do some modification for your need. And then you create an AWS account and then host the website in S3. And then you just send the S3 endpoint to us. So you don't need to, for the homework, you don't need to actually like purchase the web domain name and point it to the uh, necessity bucket. If you do that, then it's great, but it's a mandatory because it's gonna cost you some money. So as long as you actually give us the link for the S3 bucket, where I as I showed it on the link. So basically, this if you go back to the route S3.
Sakib, I'm sharing this screen. Do you want to share again or?
Oh yeah. Oh, actually, I thought I was sharing.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Yeah. Let me just share it real quick. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So for the homework, so if you go inside the bucket here, and then in the property from the static website, so what you have to do, you have to just share this link. So see if you click on the link, it's in the source. So you have to share this link into our Slack channel, and if it's all good, then we will actually issue a certificate. So yeah,
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
is
Hmm.
it for today's, seminar.
Yeah, I think there was a question. Pradeep asked, how can I keep a site private with login or something without going public? I'm not sure if I understand the question, but Saki,
Uh, can you repeat one more time?
how can I keep a site private with login or something
Okay,
without
so
going
that's
public?
I got your point. So what you're trying to build, you're trying to build as like some kind of secure website, like with an admin panel. So you cannot do it with S3. You can do it, but you have to build a site using a different framework. So what we did right now, we actually use a Bootstrap sample, the sample template, right? So, but you have to build a website using a framework like Angular. So with Angular, you can actually make some kind of admin panel which could be secured using the username password, and then you can host that thing into the S3 bucket, which will be secured. So you have to use some other framework to like make this whole thing secured. Any other question?
Let me look. I think that's good. So yeah, I just wanted to basically just repeat on what Sakib said to get the homework, a certificate. Basically, uh, uh, you should join our Slack channel. I think you probably have that. I posted it mm, uh, in the YouTube channel, but even if you didn't get it in YouTube, that's fine. If you registered through the email, you can just go. I just send an update to the email, so you should get automatically the Slack link in the email now. So just join our Slack channel. It's a public channel, and then once you're there, there should be a thread called homework, and yeah, just post your basically S3 bucket link in the homework, and then our assistants will basically work on getting you the certificate that you attended the we usually give the certificate within a week, so yeah, just give us a like a week time for that. And basically I just wanted to just say that our classes, Sakib, when our boot camp starting, it's mid January, so we are closing our uh, uh, like applications by end of this week, so by January 10th. So just go to getmehired.co, not com, .co, getmehired.co, and then just look at our website. If you have any questions, just feel free to email us. And yeah, our batch is starting soon, so apply to it. So I don't have anything else to say. Sakib, anything else from your side?
No, just want to add something like this is a very small glimpse of what you can do with AWS. So you can do a lot of things in AWS, and this is what we actually teach in the class. What you can do other than this. So yeah, hope to see some of you in the class.
Yeah, awesome. And thanks a lot, everyone, for joining. Definitely, we will be doing technical workshops every month. So make sure that you have us in your mailing list. If it is like, we do not want to spam you, obviously. So if you're getting too many emails from us, definitely let us know. We'll reduce the frequency. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot. And we'll see you within a month again. And actually, within 2 weeks, if you are interested in, uh, career based workshops like how to write a resume, how to build an online portfolio, we'll do another one. But if you want just technical, we'll do within a month. And if you want like strategic workshop, we'll do within 2 weeks. But yeah, other than that, thanks a lot, everyone, and we will see you soon again. Yeah, thank you.